Do you see the Oman game as sort of a final chance for players to get in, or would you like to maybe field close enough to the starting team for Tbilisi?
Well, that's a good point. We organised the Oman game way back, and for this reason, really, there was always the possibility that a number of our players, talented and all as they may be, may not have played that much football at coming in. Of course, you've done away now with the August international game, and so for us, I thought it was an opportunity for a couple of things. One, some players that you might be relying on against Georgia who wouldn't have played that much football. That's the way it is, you know. We can't force them into club football, and I thought it was that, and also the possibility as well of looking at one or two other little options. But no, I'm pleased that we have the game for all those reasons that I just mentioned.
Are you still thinking about the Georgia game while you build up to the Oman game, or is it just one game at a time, as you say?
No, it will be. Honestly, we're got to a stage now where it's really proper business, and Georgia is top of the list every single day.
Just confirm, is Robbie Keane going to be your skipper for the campaign as well?
I don't see why he shouldn't be.
Martin, do you know your best starting 11 by this stage?
I've got a fair idea.
Will Roy be here for the entire international break, or will he have certain responsibilities still with Aston Villa during the break?
No, he'll be here for the break. He'll be here for the break.
Martin, Shane Long, it's been a crazy 2 years for him in terms of moves and stuff. He made a big money move now to Southampton. Does that bring an awful lot of pressure, that price tag on your head, do you think?
Well, it depends how he deals with it, really. Of course, I think that in general, I know that the stock answer from players always would be, well, they weren't the ones to organise the price tag. But then obviously the more money you go for, there is pressure. There's pressure to start and do well for your club, obviously. And if you have come for some serious money, then there's a sort of an immediate pressure for you to perform. That said, Shane should be able to take that in straight.
Martin, just a word on James Coleman. He had a pre-season injury coming back at the weekend. Would you be happy to see him play 90 minutes this weekend, or would you rather see the rest of it?
Ideally, I spoke to Seamus last week, and he thought that if he wasn't involved in the game, and he wasn't too sure that he might be involved in the opening day, that he felt fit enough, where he was getting that sort of fitness. And lo and behold, he gets the last 5 minutes of the game. I think perhaps maybe Everton picked up one or two injuries, including Ross Barkley, that might have really forced the manager's hand to do something. But I don't think Everton would have risked it, putting him on in the last 5 minutes if they didn't think he was properly okay. But Seamus he's a naturally fit lad anyway, so from that viewpoint, ideally again it would be great if we could get 90 minutes. But there's a couple of matches in which he can play before he joins us. You know, I still think, if my own personal view, that was his decision. I think that I would never have written him off, even though I've been talking here. People seem to have picked it up that I was talking rather negatively. He didn't. I understand he wanted to play the league games last year. And when you're playing in the championship, there's no respite, and it's every single week. So he missed out on the international matches. Fine, absolutely fine. He didn't make himself available for the summertime to get himself some rest. But I was disappointed that he wanted to retire, because I still think that he's well and truly killed.
But you know your best centre half, Gary?
You keep saying that we have a number of centre halves here, and I will make the choice when it comes.
Martin, in light of the fact that Kieran Westwood is back playing regular first team football now, will you be reconsidering your number one, or is that still David Ford's jersey to lose?
I think that I went to the game the other night. Kieran played at one end, and Fordy played at the other end. Both had, during the course of that match, had a fantastic amount to do in the game. One or two serious moments, of course, that they had to deal with. But overall, it was relatively quiet for both of them. Kieran's come back. I know Kieran very, very well, of course, from the time at Sunderland, and he's been out injured. He's got a club, and now he's playing more regularly. And I think that helps, obviously.
Martin, you would have been very happy to see Aidan McGeady get on the score sheet the last day. He's a player who's had a kind of turbulent time coming back to the end of his time at Russia. Roberto Martinez is obviously someone who rates him very highly.
Yeah.
Do you feel that this is a very important season from an upcoming few months? This is a real chance for him to show whatever unfulfilled potential he has?
Well, he's in the Premiership now, and he's in the limelight. He chose to go out to Russia. That's absolutely fine, and it's totally his decision. Now he wants to go and show the ability on a regular basis that he definitely possesses. Everyone of us here in this room knows that he's terrific feat, absolutely terrific. And I heard some of the Everton players who wouldn't really have known too much about him talk about him and say that, you know, exceptional talent. And you're absolutely right. It's now it's up to him really to go and show that. Just have no regrets about your career. That's really it. Go and show that talent that you undoubtedly possess.